So the first thing you're going to want to do is go to Google Drive. In Google Drive, check your Shared with Me section. In Shared with Me, you should see a video named with your name .mp4. You don't need to open it, just make sure that it's there. If you cannot find it in Drive, go to your email, and you should find an email from me that I sent last week with your video. And at the bottom there, you should see a thumbnail image of it. It's got two little buttons on it. It's got a download button, and it should have a little Google Drive button. Click the Google Drive button. And it's going to add it to the My Drive section of your Google Drive. So it should already be in your Shared with Me in Google Drive. If it's not, you will find your email that I sent with the video in it last week, and you will click the Add to Google Drive button. Once you've done that, head back to Google Drive, and it should be there in the My Drive section. From Google Drive, I'm going to use just an example here. I will use Braden because he's right here. On your file, and it might look a little different, you might actually have a little thumbnail of it, you're going to right-click, which is two-finger press. And it's going to bring up some options. And we're going to go up to the Open With option. And if you have the Screencastify video editor, go ahead and open it with that. If you don't have the Screencastify video editor, you're going to go down to Connect More Apps and search for it. So just start typing Screencastify. And once it pops up, you can open it and click the Install button. Mine says uninstall because I've already installed it. So go ahead and click the Install button. Once you have got this installed, you're going to head back to your video in Google Drive, right-click on it again, go back to Open With, and this time, the Screencastify video editor should pop up. So go ahead and click on that button, and it will open your video in Screencastify. Screencastify has relatively limited editing options, but that is perfect for what we're doing. There's only a couple things I need to show you in here that you can actually use to edit. So please make sure you're looking at the board here for a few minutes. Obviously, the main screen up here shows you your video. You can click play and watch it. You can scrub through it down here at the bottom. You can click your cursor wherever you want and watch it from that point in the video. Okay? You're going to watch through your video, and if you need to cut out any of the parts, you're going to use the snipping tool or the cutting tool. So let's say right here in the video, Braden made a mistake and he wants to cut out that piece. Well, he's going to put his cursor on it. See how the box lit up yellow around it? That means I'm actively working in this box now. So let's say he made a mistake and he needs to cut out 4 or 5 seconds of his video. He can click the scissors tool, the cut tool, and it's going to break that video into 2 pieces. Then he can keep watching the video, and maybe that's as far as he needs to cut. He's going to click the scissors again. And now it's in 3 sections, and I don't want the section that's in the middle. So I'll click on it, make sure it's yellow border, and click delete. Now when he plays his video, it's going to play, and then once he gets to the center there, it's going to jump right over that spot like nothing ever happened. Okay, so that part of the video that he didn't want is now gone. You might need to do that a couple times, depending on if you had some pauses that you needed to cut out, or you made a mistake and we had to rewind your script and start over from a certain spot. You might need to cut those out. Everybody's video is going to be different. Some of you probably don't need to do any cutting because you did it in one take without any oopsies. You might need to cut out the first second or two of the video. When I was counting down and pointing at you, you might have caught my voice on camera. So you might have to just go to the front and see where you need to start your video, cut it, and then just delete that first part of me talking. The same goes for the end. Some of you started, like Braden looked like he started walking away before the video was over. So he might have to find a spot where he starts to walk off the screen, pause the video, cut it, and then delete the end of it. So you can go ahead and get your video cut the way you want. I have one more trick to show you first. If you want, and this is totally optional for you, if you would like to add a text box to it, you can do that as well. For example, maybe you wanted to add a little introduction to your video. You can put the little T, and it's going to pop a text box into your video up here. And you can write something. Maybe you want to say like your name, and then you could say like meteorologist or something like that. You can move this thing to the top of the screen or the bottom of the screen. You could change the font. You could make it bigger. You could bold it. You could colorize it, whatever floats your boat. Make it appropriate for the video. Remember, we're trying to keep these kind of semi-professional seeming, so we're not trying to put silly stuff on the screen. If you don't want to put text, that's okay too, okay? But that's an option. And then down here on the actual video editing area, you can move that text box. You can lengthen that text box so that it lasts longer on the video. So maybe you want your name to pop up for the first 5 seconds. You can make that box 5 seconds long. And then for the first 5 seconds of this video, that will appear on your screen and then disappear after the 5 seconds. You could also put some end text if you wanted. Again, it's up to you, but keep it appropriate to the purpose of our video, okay? When you are completely done editing and you are satisfied with your edits, you're going to click the export button in the top corner and export to Google Drive. When you name your video, again, name it something appropriate. You might just want to use your name and then green screen forecast or something like that. Again, keep it appropriate to the project. This is the title that we will see in YouTube eventually once we get it there. Once you click save, it's going to immediately download it to your Google Drive in a new folder called Screencastify. So if you want to go back and actually watch it then, that's where you'll find it. If you have any questions, please let me know.